Well, good morning. I've had a lovely time catching up with Kim, and she dutifully reminds me it was 1985 that we met. Oh, I lost a decade there, but I didn't lose a decade in our actual time, just in my mind and in my speech at that time, because she's one of my best friends, and it's been so lovely being with her. We've both been through an awful lot the last few years, so it's just lovely to reconnect. I did see her about a month ago when I got back from my tour of Ireland. Actually, this is the last place that I stopped before I headed to Maggie's and then home. And I've come down, I brought with me, I mean obviously I've come down to see her, but also to bring with me the memorial book for Andy, because she does all this clever stuff that Andy used to like. When she goes on holiday, she does all this I can't remember what it's called, but she sticks all things in this book, and it's lovely, and Andy used to love looking through it. So she's going to do that with this memorial book for me, so I'm really happy about that. Had my morning cup of tea and now my morning cup of coffee. I love her mugs as well. Like the pig of happiness, he is so happy. May his joyful smile remind us how much there is to be happy about. Here you go. There is lots to be happy about. I hope you find you're happy today. Remember not to look outside for it, not to look in stuff and things, but this is where we're happy. This is where we find true happiness. Let it come from within and let it shine today. Yay! Everywhere I go, there is a feather. But they're not just laying down on the ground, look, they're actually sticking up. So this one's going to go on my bike. This is the memorial book. So I've got all these certificates and things in here. It's lovely swimming certificates that we were so proud of. And I thought, isn't that weird actually, that before, I've just thought about this recently, that he always had he couldn't watch even people drowning on television. He had a real thing about drowning. And yeah, he did his amateur swimming. He got sort of honours level way before anybody else. He was always proud of that. And yeah, I'm thinking perhaps he drowned in a previous life, but not in this one. So in loving memory, and I've got it in wood because he just loved wood, and that's all that's literally filled in at the moment. Because when we got it, it was just like the name, address and email of people that attended, so not much information there. So we've got all the certificates to go in there, we've got cards, memory like cards from people, we've got flowers, and then we've got these like share a memory cards that will be going in there as well. So yeah, it will be nice. It will be nice to have it all in there in one place and looking very different by the time we next see it. And some photos as well, mostly of his cars and vehicles, of course. I just had to get off my bike for a bit, stretch my legs, take my jacket off because it's hot, have a little Starbucks. I didn't realise how far it was to Lincolnshire from London actually. I'd forgotten, and I was having such a good time with Kim and chatting away that I didn't even think to Google and have a look at my map to see how far it's going to be. So it was going to be far too long for me to get to meet my friend in Boston if I went the country road. So I've had to go on the motorways. I'm now on the A1, or it's about to go on to the A1. And like my mindset this morning was, oh, bloody motorways, I hate motorways. And then I'm like, you know, I told everyone to smile, and it comes from within. So get out there, and when you start change that mindset, which is a really important thing, it helps. Yeah, there's lots of cars and lots of lorries and lots of vans, blah blah blah, and it's busy. But if you just take your time, it's fine. And you know, I've opened the accelerator a little bit when I've needed to, and potted at other times. I have had to stop, which is going to make me a little bit late, but I've texted Sarah to let her know, so that's good. And there's lots of, you know, when we're on the motorway, in our peripheral vision, there are trees, there is grass, there's a lake I've seen, there's not falcons, but kestrels and buzzards and aeroplanes, and of course other bikers. It's Sunday, there's lots of bikers out, some of you in t-shirts still. And I had to laugh because my ego started of like, well, maybe I'll just stop nodding to people in t-shirts and shorts. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Karina, I'm really aware of my ego lately, and it's good, you know. We can't stop our thoughts, we can't stop our monkey mind from jabbering, but we can make friends with it. That's what helps. So that made me smile, and then it made me laugh at myself. And then as I was riding along, it came up, I had a call from Lee, but obviously I couldn't answer it. So I'm going to give him a little call now and just say hello to him whilst I drink my coffee, get back on Bumblebee, and head up to Lincolnshire. See you there. So, as I loaded my dry bag on top of my bike this morning, I said to him, yeah, but wouldn't you know, it's a lot better than them plastic rubbish bags I had all my stuff in. But it hasn't rained yet, so I haven't tested it. And of course, here I am in Boston, my old stomping ground. It's live up here. My bike is parked over that away somewhere with, of course, my seat thing on. I've forgotten what it's called again, but I'm going to get a nice douche when I get back to the bike. Waterproofs are underneath the dry bag in my top box, but there you go. Bring on the storm. It's going to clear the air and shelter here. I've had a lovely day. It's been really nice. It was a hard ride, and I had to accelerate a little bit more at times to try and get to Boston on time. But then we got stuck in the storm, so we'd had some lunch, and the storm meant I get to spend longer with Sarah, which was really nice. And I've got time now with my friend Joy until Tuesday morning. We're Sunday now, so that's great. Bike boots and keys are hanging up, and jacket. Hopefully won't be using that tomorrow. Well, I say hopefully. I might have withdrawals and go for a little spin. We'll see. But I thought I'd just end the day where we started, talking about happiness and happy and things we've talked about, and a smile. So I'm just going to read you a few headings from D to Z of Alcon Sobriety. Everything you need to know. By moi. Available on Amazon worldwide, in case you didn't know. Happiness is the opposite of suffering, and I truly never realised it could feel like this. Happiness is genuine, it is natural, and it is of our own making. Initially, I could not remember having ever felt this way. That's because our memories have a habit of hanging on to sadness and misery. Now sitting writing this, I'm reflecting and remembering many good times from my past which filled me with happiness and joy. Have a little dig around today. Go find some happiness. And remember to share it around. It really is infectious. A bit like the smile, which I'll read in a minute. Happy. We are all connected by our wish to be happy, but we look for things, situations and people to make us feel this way. But it's a bit like the beggar's box of gold. We just have to look inside. Yes, there are lots of emotions inside of us, but numbing them is not the way to make us happy. Working through those emotions, dealing with the situations and feelings, accepting our contribution and areas of control and letting go of the past really does make us happy. Anger, greed, resentment and jealousy will just keep us in a dark place. Learning to let them go allows our happy to shine through. And a lot of those headings are, or a lot of those words are headings. Areas, control, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to finish with smile. Never underestimate the power of a smile. It brightens even the dullest day for both the giver and the receiver. I once walked to work smiling and saying good morning to everyone I met. I got some strange looks, but I felt great by the time I got to work. I used to work in a school who had, in my opinion, the most miserablest receptionist you've ever met in your life. They had the smile poem on their door. The irony made me laugh. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw me grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about my smile and then I realised its worth. A single smile like mine can travel round the earth. So if you see a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic and get the world infected. And that was Jez Alborough 1991, but often quoted by and credited to Spike Milligan. And yeah, I think that's the epidemic I kind of like. So I hope you found your smile today. I know I found mine. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.